Brother Paul, he told him that you have to study to show yourself approved. A workman who needed not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. So there is a demand for Timothy to study. There is a price we have to pay in knowledge to be able to be established according to the present truth. And any believer that is not established in knowledge may grow, but he will grow like cancer. The reason why you don't have the readiness to answer anyone when he asks you a question is because you are not aware. And if you think that knowledge is expensive, ignorance will make you pay times 2 for what you are supposed to get by knowledge. And that is the reason why we take our time to do most of this series, to bring you to an understanding of a topic extensively. Before I announce what I'll be discussing today, let me appreciate the choir. They look nice. All right. And they did well. They did well. While we were talking, I just realized, I was telling Apostle, I said, the choir need new set of mic. By next week, I'm getting a new set of mic for them. Whether the devil like it or not. I have taught you about mindset. I have taught you about the Holy Spirit. I have taught you everything you need for life and godliness. Live a small life. You die small. You must believe God. I was telling them in Niger, I said, no one walk with God using his mind. You will fail. Your mind is too small to interface with God. No one that encounter breach through the corridors of your mind. Encounters go straight to your spirit. It will take time for your mind to process it. That's why you wake up from an encounter, most times you don't even know what you had. Sometimes you wake up from a dream, your spirit knew it, but your mind is still trying to process it. And most times you can't even write them now. And after a while you are somewhere like, as if I've been here before, as if I've dreamt this before. Your spirit comprehend it, but your mind is still trying to understand. So the Bible says by faith we understand, not by understanding we have faith. Working with God with your understanding, you are going to suffer. Forget about your low background. Forget about where you are coming from. Where you are going to is what matters. The beginning doesn't matter, it's the end that matters. Some people started wrong and end well, while others started well and end wrong. I choose to even start wrong and end well. Because the person that starts well and end wrong, at the tail end is still wrong. By faith, we understand. Well, if I don't get it, don't hold me accountable. Hold me to my faith. But by faith, we understand. I think I told you we are going to be getting instrument, everything. I mean, are we in the same page now? Are we there now? I say in 1 month. It was not up to 1 month. When I announce the next project, many of you will faint. And it will be done. Your life is more expensive than anything you are doing on the earth. If there's a price for it, you won't be living now. Do you know how much God spent to keep us alive daily? Getting things from God is the cheapest way. But you must be willing to deprive yourself those benefits. If you have a life, it will be taken. When you don't have a life, you will continue to live. Today, as part of the required curriculum for our theme of the year for Mounting Up, is the need for us to understand leadership. One of the things that has limited the advancement of many people, limited the advancement of many churches, many ministries, many individuals, many organizations, even many pastors themselves, is poor leadership. And I trust God to bring you to a point to prepare you to be able to be an effective leader wherever you find yourself. Whether in your business, whether in your office, whether in your school, Whether in that little ministry, that little fellowship, that little organization that God gives you, you must have an understanding of leadership. One of the reasons why relationship marriage also fail is poor leadership. Leadership is traceable to yourself first before others. If you can't lead yourself, you can't lead others. So the problem is not the organization, the problem is you. Are you getting my point now? One of the greatest challenges we are having as a people is leading ourselves first before leading others. And whether we like it or not, every house functions by the grace that each joint supply. And because of that, every joint has to be able to understand that it's very, very vital and important. One of our job and our goal is to be able to empower followers to become leaders, and leaders to become agents of transformation. I was once upon a time a follower, and I grew up to become a leader. There is no goal of following if leadership is not the expected end. It's a waste of time. Run away from anybody that wants you to remain a follower forever, and the person is not interested in empowering you to become a leader. Everybody has a sphere of influence they are called onto. Everybody has an area of giftings, of talent that God has earmarked for them. The job description of everyone that stands to speak is to empower one, empower two, empower three, to activate that possibility dormant within them, to come into that full functionality, to function in their calling. You cannot fulfill your calling if you don't understand leadership. You can't fulfill your calling if nobody has empowered you in the area of leadership. Jesus Christ looked upon few men, he said, follow me, and I will make you fishers of men. They were fishers of fish, but the man said, follow me. Leadership is key to the fulfillment of your destiny. Leadership is key to the fulfillment of your purpose. Leadership is key to the advancement of the kingdom. But I bring you a sad news. Write this somewhere. It is easy, very easy to follow than to lead. It is easy to follow than to lead. It's cheap. Many of you have a very big problem following others. You want to lead. If you have a problem following, you can never lead, because following is the prerequisite for leadership. If you fail in following, you will fail in leadership. Everybody that fails in leadership never follow anyone. I say this with a sense of audacity, courage, and without any remorse. Check all the bad leaders we have. It's either they are mentored, or they follow another bad leader, or they have nobody that ever lead them at all. There was never a time that they followed genuinely. If you are following a leader that you know that is bad, just know that that's your future. You will never become greater than your leaders. It's not possible. So when the leader is limited, you will be limited. You can never, servant can never be better than his master. He can, the maximum he can do is just like his master. Except the leader will continue to grow, then you grow the more. So whether you like it or not, if the leader grow to this point, nobody in that church can pass this point. Everybody in that organization remain like this. When the leader increase, he gives a space for others to climb also. If a ministry, an organization, a church is not growing, check the head. You came in here not because your leg decided, it's because your head agreed with you. If you are in your house now, your leg may want to come here, but your head is superior. In fact, it went so worse that even if the neck shake until the head agree, it doesn't work. Are you coming? Are you coming? It's very important to understand the power of the lead. But what is upon the leader is so hard. And that is why we are starting this series to teach you how you can become an effective leader. And I don't want to hear those cliches that you were told leaders are born. I don't believe that. I am of the mantra and the belief of Dr. Max Morrow, Blessed Mary, that leaders are made. Every leader is a product of a making. Nobody is an automatically born leader. He may have the character trait, but he still needs training. Even Jesus himself, that is our pattern, was trained. It is evil to empower a man that has not been trained. That's why you need leaders. Nobody is sent anywhere until he's equipped. Leadership is the required foundation for equipping. Nobody fulfills destiny, calling, without being equipped. And leadership still remains the foundation for empowerment. Everybody that did anything great came under a kind of leadership that empowered him with the sufficient tools and raw material for excelling. When we speak about leadership, knowledge is the principal raw material for the making and the impacting of wisdom. And wisdom is the principal raw material for the making of leaders. So leaders are a product of applying wisdom and not just only knowledge. If you have been listening to my teaching by now, you know the difference between wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Knowledge is an awareness of a truth. When you are aware of a truth, is knowledge. Is that okay? Understanding is the assimilation of the truth. When now you are not just only aware, you have come to a point where you have assimilated the truth. While wisdom is the application of the truth. You can know something and never get the result until you apply it. You can know something and even understand it until you apply it, you will never get the result. Many of you know everything about how to start a car, how to move a car. You have even played game, but you have never applied it. That is why we can't trust you. And you'll be shocked and surprised that in the day that you are found in a situation where you have to apply the knowledge you have, you are afraid. And in leadership, practice will make you perfect. So let's, having established this foundation, let's move further. And now you have to believe that everyone is born to become a leader. God does not maintain followers. God turns followers to become leaders. And that is the reason why God has allowed you to exist on the earth. It's because there is a calling, there is a mandate, there is something He has planned for you to be able to execute. How can you execute that? You must be able to lead. Let me tell you, I know you have been told that the husband is the head of the family. I agree. But it's not all the time that the husband leads. There are times the husband follows. There are men that have never cooked before in their life. I'm not trying to say I can cook anyway, but I'm trying to let you understand, if they decide to cook that day by leading up the man, let me do it, we are going to see the result of their ignorance. So when it comes to kitchen, he allowed the wife to lead, and now he doesn't want to call her a leader. So you must be able to understand that being a leader doesn't mean that you will not be led. You will still be led by others. But that does not mean that you are going to neglect the total trait that God has put inside of you. Because there are things that only you can do. There are things that only you can achieve on the earth. There is no anyone like you on the earth. It's a lie. Leadership is having an understanding of your uniqueness. And your uniqueness comes from your abilities, your potentials, your capabilities, and all the talent and the giftings that God has embedded in you. Then developing them as you discover them, then deploying them. But the sincere truth is this: nobody is going to celebrate a leader until his gift and his ability are developed, they are sharpened, then they are deployed. Why do you celebrate me? I took out time to prepare myself, develop myself, and I'm deploying it to you now. What is going to bring you true honor is when you understand that you are a leader. If you celebrate any follower, it's because the follower is a leader in a sphere. And all of us lead in keeping to the area of our giftings, our abilities. But leadership does not begin as leadership, it begins as followership. So Jesus said, follow me and I will make you. That is the journey of leadership. It's the journey of discovery. Go with me to the book of Matthew 20. Matthew 20 from 20. The Bible said, then came to him the mother of Zebedee's children with her sons, worshiping him and desiring a certain thing of him. And he said unto her, what wilt thou? She said unto him, grant that these my two sons may sit, the one at thy right hand and the other at thy left, in thy kingdom. But Jesus answered and said, ye know not what ye ask. Are ye able to drink of the cup that I shall drink of, and be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with? Then said unto him, we are able. And he said unto them, ye shall drink indeed of my cup, and be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with. But sit at my right hand, and on my left is not mine to give, but it shall be given to them for whom it is prepared of my Father. And when the 10 heard it, they were moved with indignation against the two brethren. But Jesus called them unto him and said, ye know that the prince of the Gentiles exercise dominion over them, and they that are great exercise authority upon them. But it shall not be so among you. But whosoever will be great among you, let him be what? Your minister. And whosoever shall be chief among you, let him be your servant. See, even as the Son of Man came not to be ministered unto, but to minister, and to give his life a ransom for many. This is the first scripture we are going to be considering today, in keeping to the prime subject of the series we are considering leadership. Leadership is basically service. Many of you look at leadership as a place for honor, a place where you raise your shoulder, a place where you dominate others, a place where you prove that you are something. According to Jesus' word, if your Bible is not bold, you will discover that the King James should have this one in red letters, right? If it is bold, or maybe somebody have read it already and used black something, and there are people that mark their Bible very well. But if it is the real one that is red, it's Jesus' word. It was a challenge. Jesus Christ had 12 apostles, and all of them were there to him. Of course, different relationship, right? Others are more closer. Peter, James, and John. John was more closer. But we saw something. The mother of Zebedee, she knew that Jesus is more closer to these ones. So she came to still lobby again the more. And she came and asked, grant that these my two sons sit at your left and at your right, in the day you have finally overthrown this government. Because she knew that he already loved them. And now she is making a request for them to become chief, so that others can bow to them. Because among them, all of them look equal before God. All of them were apostles. But we know that there are others that were quite close to him. So the mother came and said, can you grant that this rest of these ones should bow to this one? Make these ones chief. Make them leaders among these leaders. And I can see them laughing and they're happy. You know why? Because it was not their mother. It was actually what they planned at home. They sat down together and said, Mommy, we know that Jesus loves us very well, more than the rest. But there is something in our heart we want to tell him, but we know we can't tell him. Just like some of you want to tell me something you can't tell me, you use somebody else. Many of you knew, like in my house, There's one of my sisters, she's so weak. Her name is Blessing. So weak. So that one, when she stands before my father to ask anything, he doesn't know how to tell her no. So anytime we need something, if you follow through that one, we are guaranteed. But you that you look like a terror, when you ask, they say no. But that one is as if they tell her no. It is to affect the delicate balance of her heart. So they don't want to offend her, so they give it to her. So they knew that Jesus loved them. But their mother was so subtle because their nature, they got it from the mother. So they agreed together. He will have more respect for you. And let it not look as though it was we that said it. So while they were all together, they now dragged Jesus to one side. And as they stand, the mother said, well, there is something we need to talk. Can you grant that these my two children, one sit here, one sit here? Make them to become chief. What are they looking for? So that everybody will, but because they are also apostles. Is that not true? All of them are equal. They are all apostles, but they are not okay with that. They desire leadership.